Sam, 2-year deal at Meadow Lane. Congratulations. How do you feel?
Yeah, good to get it over the line. I think there's a few major factors why I wanted to stay. One was pretty much I came here a couple of years ago to help the club get back up in the Football League, and that's obviously not happened yet, and it's something that I'm really wanting to help this club do. The fans have been brilliant, especially the last couple of games when they've been able to be back. In the first season, they were fantastic. It's a great club to play for, and I think the kind of trust that the owners have put in the players and the management staff during the time that I've been here, both been fantastic, and I think the way he wants to play football and going forward, it's going to be a good environment to be in. I'm looking forward to see what recruitment we do. I think that's going to be a real big thing, but yeah, I want to stay here and hopefully get us back in the Football League, and that's a project that I started a couple of years ago, and I want to keep doing until we get it done.
Is it fair to say that you had other offers?
Yeah, 100%. We had some offers back up in the Football League and also in the same league as this, but like I said, the club itself over the past 2 years has been brilliant to me, and also the football we play. It's a big club in this league, and it's a forward-thinking club, and I feel that it's on a projection of going up, so it's something that I wanted to get done as soon as possible, and as long as we could come to the agreement and the arrangements that we both thought was reasonable, then I was happy to do it, and yeah, we got that over the line pretty quickly.
You mentioned the fans there. We've sold 1,000 season tickets in 24 hours, so I think there's a fair degree of appetite from them for next season. How much are you looking forward to, fingers crossed, playing in front of normal crowds again?
Yeah, I think when you saw the Chesterfield game, a few of the lads that hadn't played in front of the crowds here came in after the game and said it was one of the best atmospheres they'd played in front of, and yeah, it was brilliant. But I had the benefit of the season before as well, so I know that that's the same week in, week out, as long as we do what we need to do on the pitch. So they are a big factor, but the main factor is kind of the trust the club's put in me, and also the project that I came here to do.
You mentioned earlier the style of play being appealing to you. I suppose it's a growing style of play in football, isn't it? But I guess it's a bit of a rarity at this level. You feel comfortable, you feel excited at the prospect of contributing right from the back in terms of the way we're playing?
Yeah, 100%. I think the older you get, the more you appreciate a certain style of play. Different people will be suited to different, but I love watching football played that way. So to be part of it and be part of a club and a team that wants to play that way is important to me. And I think also probably for my career, it'll probably extend it a little bit longer if that's the case. So the style of football really is a brilliant factor. There's not many clubs in this league, like you mentioned, that will want to play as much attractive football as what we do. I think the modus in this league is kind of do what you can to get out of it, but what we can is a certain specific style of football, and it showed over both seasons where it can get us. We just have to make sure that last kind of step we can get over the line, and hopefully we'll be in the same sort of situation during the season next year. I mean, we'll always target for automatic promotion. I think that's what this club deserves, and that's what this club should be doing. But as long as we're challenging at the right end of the table and we put ourselves in a position to get promotion by the end of it, I think we can do that playing the way that we want to do it.
It's a 2-year deal. How much does that mean to you?
Obviously, at my age, stability is a keen thing. It is a big thing. The other clubs we spoke with, they were offering similar. So the stability at this age. But yeah, look, best case scenario is we get promoted next year, so it'll be a year in the Football League as well. The 2 years for my family and for myself is very important.
I'd like to get a player's perspective on yesterday's news of Michael Doyle taking the assistant head coach role. Now, what's the feeling from you on that one?
I think to keep him in this club is massive. I don't think the fans would know or fully understand how much of an effect and how much of a role model, ambassador's probably not the right word, but his leadership within the dressing room and on a day-to-day basis is huge. And to replace that would be I believe it would be irreplaceable. So to keep him here in the club and give him the opportunity to make the next step in his career, as well as still being available to us, the playing squad, I think is a no-brainer. What he brings to the table in terms of his character and his personality is huge. So it was definitely a fantastic bit of news for myself, knowing that I was going to come and sign today, to know that yesterday he put pen to paper and he's going to stay here. I think I can learn a lot from him, because eventually I want to go into that side as well. And I think that the players that are going to come, not only the experienced lads that are here learning off him, but it'll be a massive learning curve for any younger pros that are coming. The guy's played at a fantastic level for 23, 22 years. What more could you ask for? And you saw last year we brought in Regan Griffiths on loan, and the amount of times you kind of say to him, look, like, this guy that you're playing alongside and training with day in, day out, like, he should be your role model. That's what you should be learning off. And I know he took a few things away from it, so hopefully he can do that with all the other players that are going to come into the building and are already in the building.
You're another player in that vastly experienced age bracket, Sam. You've played under a lot of managers, you've played in a lot of environments and some very good established clubs as well. Just a word on Iain Birch and Jake Keane, I suppose, somebody obviously you work really, really closely with, in terms of the day-to-day environment and why that's good enough for you to stay here.
Having Keno is one of the biggest reasons I stayed. I've really enjoyed working with him over the past 2 years, and I think he's still learning himself in terms of being a coach and his sessions, but his sessions for me are good. He's not afraid to dig me out when I need digging out, and it's something we spoke about straight away when we both came in. I said to him, like, I understand that it's his first season as a coach, but if you think I'm doing something wrong or you think I can do something better, I need you to tell me, because that way we're both going to get better. And I think Ian's obviously brought in a little bit different style of training on the training ground stuff when he's come in. I've really enjoyed it. I think it's good. It's refreshing to have something different, but also he brings in a little bit of a different... He's had a bit more experience from other cultures, and I think taking that with what Neil built before he left and adding what Ian's brought in is a great combination. I think what they do on the training ground really has been seen in the last 10 fixtures at the end of the season, and that's credit to what they do day in, day out. And one thing that was said as soon as they come in was he expects us to be at the level every single day, and when you come to a match, if you're not performing well, you fall back to the level that you train at day in, day out. That's something that I've always believed in all the way through my career. And to hear that come from the manager, I really liked, because I do believe in that as well. And if we can train at that intensity and that potential every day, and then when it comes to the games, it should be second nature. Even when you're not performing the best, we know the levels that we can get at, and you fall back to that habit that you've built on the training ground. And they've been huge.
How's the body? Are you enjoying the break?
I needed the break, if I'm honest. Probably one of the toughest periods of my career in terms of physical output. I don't think there'll be any other time, touch wood, where we go near enough 18 months without having much of a break. I know people listening that aren't in the game probably think all you do is turn up and play football day in, day out, but when you're 33 and you throw yourself on the floor multiple times a day, it really does come back to bite you. And the last couple of months started getting little niggles in places that I've never had in my career, and I just believe that that's off the back of the fact that we've probably had 18 months non-stop and really needed this break, and I'm sure I won't be the only one. But the smaller break between the end of the season and the start of the next will certainly make pre-season a little bit easier. If I'm honest, I'm already looking forward to coming back. Usually most pre-seasons I'll have 3 or 4 weeks where I'm just completely away from football and don't think about it, but then I kind of get a bit restless and I want to do something, and I have 2 weeks kind of waiting, like looking forward to coming back. And although this week's shorter, I think get next week out of the way and I'll be really looking forward to being back in the building and hopefully setting us on a new path to doing what we want to do next year.